Hi guys, welcome to our channel. If you're new here or if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm Emmy from the Crazy Bookish Asians, and for today I am gonna be talking about Kristen Stewart's favorite books. So basically this is just an intro because today is gonna be the first day that I'm gonna be reading one of the books. And the books, I got this list of her favorite books from a Chanel video that they published on YouTube, because Kristen Stewart is a Chanel ambassador, and I think they did this interview about a year or 2 years ago, something like that. And in that video, it's really good. I'm gonna link it down below because you can tell Kristen Stewart is so passionate about reading and about these books that affected her life. So the 3 books I picked for this video are John Steinbeck's East of Eden. I've read Of Mice and Men when I was in high school, but otherwise, yeah, nothing by him recently. So it's gonna be exciting to read this. And then the second one is Sapiens, A Brief History of Mankind by Yuval Noah Harari. This author has 2 books out, but I decided to pick this one because this is the first one. And then the third one, actually I don't have because I borrowed it from the library and it's still on hold. So I'm hoping it comes in within the time frame that I'm going to be doing this video. But it's Bluets by Maggie Nelson. And in that video, she actually said that Bluets and East of Eden are her two books that she's given out copies of the most, or the ones that she's reread the most. I can't remember which is which, but anyways, yeah. And then the backup plan is that if the Bluets does not come in time, I'm gonna be reading this On the Road by Jack Kerouac. But yeah, this is actually not my original intention to read this, but just in case the Bluets does not come in. But anyways, I think it should be okay because my plan is I'm not gonna be reading all these books back to back, like because I have other stuff on my TBR that I'll probably be reading in between this book. So I don't know how long this whole thing will take, but yeah, I'm quite excited because Kristen Stewart is one of my favorite actresses as well. I really love her, so it'll be interesting to see if I like her taste in books. So anyways, here we go. And today is the first day. This is the one I'm going to be starting off first. Okay, let's do it. Hi guys, so just as a quick update, I'm on page 46, 47 of East of Eden, and oh my gosh, literally every page is just amazing. Every sentence, every word. Okay, you guys, I am now on part 2, chapter 12, and just listen how beautiful this book is. I'll read a part of the introduction of the chapter. You can see how this book has reached a great boundary that was called 1900. Another 100 years were ground up and churned, and what had happened was all muddied by the way folks wanted it to be, more rich and meaningful the farther back it was. In the books of some memories, it was the best time that ever sloshed over the world. The old time, the gay time, sweet and simple as though time were young and fearless. Old men who didn't know whether they were going to stagger over the boundary of the century looked forward to it with distaste, for the world was changing, and sweetness was gone, and virtue too. Worry had crept on a corroding world, and what was lost? Good manners, ease, and beauty. Ladies were not ladies anymore, and you couldn't trust a gentleman's word. Ah, my gosh, just everything about this book is just magical to me. Anyways, all right, I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys. Okay, so I am almost done. Oh my gosh, so I'll probably finish this today. And so Well, I'm actually really sad that this book is ending, but also it's I guess it's time to go on to the other book. So I think I'm gonna be reading 2 or 3 other books before I go into the next one on my list, which is I think it's the Homo Deus one. I can't remember the title. Or if the Bluets come in, then that'll be the next one. But anyways, yeah, I just want to update you guys. So chapter 46, look at all the tabbing I have done. It's crazy. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll actually just do the review at the end of like basically after I've read all the 3 books. I'll just do a video reviewing the like all of them all at once. I think that'll be easier. Anyways, okay, so bye guys. Okay guys, it's been a few weeks since I last recorded reading from the Kristen Stewart list of her favorite books. So now I'm gonna be starting the Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. So yeah, and then after this I have Bluets left. So I don't know how long this book will take because it is a bit thick, but hopefully I'll finish it in a good amount of time. All right, see you guys.
Love Sapiens, a brief history of human.
I'm recording right now.
Do they cover the Anthropocene?
I don't know. I'm literally just in the beginning.
Because that's not a real thing, actually. It's like an anthro class where you learn about the evolution of humans.
Oh yeah. So this one actually starts from like literally from the beginning
Of when, like,
until the future. So it starts off. So the 3 revolutions of cognitive.
bipedalism.
Yeah. So but it's very.
What is it?
It's very general, so it's
not like
almost
a
just passing over. So it has a cognitive, agricultural, and scientific level. Hi guys, so I think since the last time I recorded, was it maybe another week has passed, and I'm really having a hard time finishing this book. I think since I started, I finished 2 other books, and then I just started the 3rd one now. So I don't know if I have to put it aside. In the meantime, the Bluets by Maggie Nelson came. No, sorry, it hasn't come in yet, but I saw on my account that it's in transit. So I think I'm gonna be getting it soon. So I'll probably read that first, or maybe I'll read it in tandem with this one. But yeah, I'm just like having a hard time reading it. I'm just on page 148, and I'm not a fast reader, but you know, it's pretty average. Like I'm a pretty average reader, so usually a book this thick would only take me like a few days, but it's been a few weeks, so I don't know, you guys. So anyways, that's the update for now. I'll see you, I guess, when I see you. Bye. Hi guys. Okay, so my library holds just came in, and Bluets is one of them, so I'm gonna go pick it up now. I hope I find parking in this library because they get really busy sometimes, so wish me luck. Let's go. Yay, I'm here. There's a lot of parking, so not a busy time, so let's go pick it up. Let's. Okay, you guys, I got the books. So this is it, Maggie Nelson's Bluets. It looks like a really quick read because it's very small and tiny, so fingers crossed. All right, yay, finally got it. I know you're probably wondering why a lot of this footage are taken in the car. It's because well, not only do I drive a lot, but I get a lot of my reading done in the car. So yeah, anyways, I'll start this off now, and yes, hope it's good. Hi Hi everyone. So I'm loving Bluets so far by Maggie and Nelson. I don't know why I've never read her work before. It's just so poetic. Listen to this part. Geeth describes blue as a lively color, but one devoid of gladness. It may be said to disturb rather than to enliven. Is to be in love with blue then to be in love with the disturbance? Or is the love itself the disturbance? And what kind of madness is it anyway to be in love with something constitutionally incapable of loving you back? Oh my gosh, just so good, so good. I understand now why Kristen Stewart loves this book so much. All right, that's it for this update. Okay, you guys, so we're here. I finished all the 3 books. So, East of Eden, Bluets, and Sapiens. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna start off talking about East of Eden, which is the first one I finished, and then I'm gonna go into Bluets, and then the last book I finished will be the last one I'll talk about, just to make it easier for me, I guess. So East of Eden, if you guys can't tell by the previous clips, I really love this book so much. I honestly feel like it's one of the best books I've read, if not the best. You know, oh my gosh. So I'm so glad. I mean, I've wanted to read this book for a long time, but it wasn't until really doing this this video that finally pushed me to do it. And oh my god, Kristen Stewart, thank you so much. If ever you ever come across this video, which I doubt it, but I do just want to let you know that your book recommendations, well, especially this one, oh my gosh, just blew me away. So I can't remember if I talked about the plot of this book when I first started reading it, but I guess I'll just read the back of it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Set in the rich farmland of California's Salinas Valley, this sprawling and often brutal novel follows the intertwined destinies of 2 families, the Trask and the Hamiltons, whose generations helplessly reenact the fall of Adam and Eve and the poisonous rivalry of Cain and Abel. Here is a work in which Steinbeck created his most mesmerizing characters and explored his most enduring themes: the mystery of identity, the inexplicability of love, and the murderous consequences of love's absence. Oh my gosh. So yes, and everything about the enduring themes, especially the murderous consequences of love's absence. Exactly. So oh my gosh, so it's really hard to kind of go on about this book without spoilers, but oh my gosh, there was actually a priest, Bishop Barron. He's a famous Catholic bishop, and I saw a video where he was talking about Cain and Abel, and he said that if you actually really do want to know about the story of Cain and Abel, this is the book. And I exactly agree with him. Oh my gosh. And not even just that, not just because it says it talks about that, but also not in a way it talks about the story of Jacob and Esau as well. If you guys are familiar with that biblical story, it's also about 2 brothers. Esau is the older brother who ended up giving his birthright to Jacob, and Jacob was really kind of sinister. Not sinister, but the way he did it was really kind of just backhanded, right? Anyways, not to go on and on about that, but just the characters in this book, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Samuel, I think, will probably be always my favorite character, and Lee. Not even, I guess it's not really, okay, so yeah, so I would say, and they're not even the main characters really. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, this is a big spoiler, but Samuel, he's like the head of the Hamiltons. So he does die in the story. Big spoiler, sorry. But just oh my god, his character is just someone that you can actually look up to, and in a way you kind of wish you know someone like that. Like, he's such a brilliant character. He's an immigrant from Ireland, I believe. Oh my god, sorry, it's been so long since I read this actually. So he immigrated to California with his wife, and his character is just amazing. Like, even though he's this big bulky guy who's good with carpentry and stuff like that, he's also an intellectual, and he's like someone that you can just talk to about all this philosophical stuff. And Lee is a Chinese servant of Adam Trask, and oh my gosh, there's so many moments when he was just talking about his experience as a Chinese American, because he's actually born in the States, but at that time, obviously, with the whole racism thing happening, he ended up almost adopting this character so that people can relate to him, because every time he discussed about how every time he would talk without an accent, like as an American, people are confused. They're like, oh, what are you saying? So he ends up putting on the Chinese accent just so that people can live up to their racist expectations, I guess. And I mean, it's just so realistic, because I mean, even being an immigrant here in Canada, and even to this day, you still feel that racism. You know, people say, oh, you know, that Canada, States, yeah, like it's such a multicultural thing, especially here in Canada. But no, there's always a inherent racism whenever you go to a Western country. And okay, I don't want to get too much into that, but anyways, I just could totally relate so much to the characters in this book. And oh my gosh, like, I know I'm not really explaining properly how much this book has affected me, but I just hope that whoever watches this, if it's just one of you who hasn't read this book, and you know, you see this video, please, if there's one thing you can take away from this video, please read East of Eden. I swear, this just kind of actually just lit something in me as well. And it's almost really interesting how something small, I guess, can just put you in a different trajectory in your life. Because reading this book, there was a part here where they were talking about the actual part of Cain and Abel in the Bible, and Lee was talking to Samuel, I think, about the different translations of a certain passage in the Bible, talking about what Cain has to go through after killing Abel and what God said to him. And I swear, this is so weird, because I'm a bit of a nerd too, and I read something like that and I'm like, oh, there's like different translations of a certain thing, that it would make such a difference in how you interpret a certain paragraph or a certain verse in the Bible. So that just got me into a whole rabbit hole of looking at different translations of the Bible. And I am Catholic, so that's what I ended up doing. And oh my gosh, so now I'm actually I'm doing this Bible study right now, and it's just really because of this book. And I feel like even if you're not a spiritual person, there's something in this book that will just really oh my gosh, just something that will trigger it in a way. Yeah, so I don't want to get into much about that, because this is just really about the book. But in terms of spirituality and all that, and you know, being a Catholic, a lot of the aspects in this book, the battle of good versus evil, it really touched me so much. Okay, all right, so I don't want this conclusion to be too long. So obviously 5 out of 5 stars. Like, if I can give this book like 10 stars out of 5, I will. Love. Then the next one that I finished is Bluets by Maggie Nelson. So this copy I just borrowed from the library. So I did mark it with just the parts I really love, like with stuff like that, but I did not write on it or anything like that. I'll be obviously removing this when I have to return this, and I'll probably be buying my own copy of this book, honestly, because this is another 5 out of 5 stars for me. And I'm just on a book buying ban for the month of June. As of filming this and uploading it, it's June 2024. For the whole month of June, I'm not buying any books because I kind of went crazy the past few months. So anyways, yes, so Bluets, the way Maggie Nelson wrote this, it's like prose poetry, I guess. So it's like different, I don't know how you call it, they're like bullet points, but like the way she did it, it's like numbered, right? So each thought, you know, it's like 30, like, you know, like 34, 35, right? So they're really easy to read in a way, and you know, it's easy to put down and then pick back up. So there's about 240. So that's the last one right there. And oh my gosh, this book, what's amazing about this book is that Maggie Nelson basically just used the color blue and just tied it with everything in her life, not just, you know, her love for the color blue itself and blue objects, but how it relates to her depression and like just different aspects of her life, really. And she talks about an old love, like that didn't work out, and she called him Prince of Blue, and it's just so wonderfully written. I think I read a passage in one of the clips that I recorded, but oh my gosh, yes, like there's just so many little beautiful stuff in here, and it's funny as well. And there's like a lot of stuff that she actually discussed, and it's almost overwhelming sometimes, because she would talk about like Vincent van Gogh and then Geeth and like all the other artists, not just pertaining to the blue itself, but I don't know how to describe it. Again, I'm sorry, but you know, let me just read a part here. What is it? There's a lot of funny parts as well, but I think I will read maybe something a bit more serious. This is the one I read. Yes, it is. That's the one I read on the video earlier. But this one, okay. Number 98, page 36. Vincent van Gogh, whose depression, some say, was likely related to temporal lobe epilepsy, famously saw and painted the world in almost unbearably vivid colors. After his nearly unsuccessful attempt to take his life by shooting himself in the gut, when asked why he should not be saved, he famously replied, "The sadness will last forever." I imagine he was right. After a few months in the hospital, my injured friend is visited by a fellow quadriparalytic. Oh, because she has a friend who was in an accident, so she became oh my god, I don't even know the word for it, but anyway, she became wheelchair bound, and Maggie Nelson, I guess, ends up taking care of her, not all the time, but I guess she ends up being there as a support. And then she talks about that. So my injured friend is visited by a fellow quadriparalytic as part of an outreach program. From her bed, she asked him, "If I remain paralyzed, how long will it take for my injury to feel like a normal part of my life?" "At least 5 years," he told her. "As of next month, she will be at 3. It often happens that we count our days as if the act of measurement made us some kind of promise. But really, this is like hoisting a harness in an invisible horse. There's simply no way that a year from now you're going to feel the way you feel today," a different therapist said to me last year at this time. "But though I have learned to act as if I feel differently, the truth is that my feelings haven't really changed." Oh my gosh. Yes, just every page. Just so beautifully written. I think I said that too in my other clips, but this is just a book that you can just kind of read over and over throughout the years and find something new with it, you know. So yes, Maggie Nelson, Bluets, 5 out of 5. Again, thank you, Kristen Stewart. Okay, and the last one. Okay, you know what? Before, hang on a sec. Okay, so sorry, I'll take a break there because I'm gonna be talking about the last one now. Oh my gosh. So this one, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. Let me tell you, so okay, I started reading this book May 14th, and I recently just finished yesterday. Yesterday was June the 9th, so it took me a long time to read this book. And not, you know, like I said before, I'm not really a fast reader. I'm a pretty average reader. So usually something like this, like how many pages are there? Blah, blah, blah. About maybe 400, yeah, 466. Usually something like this would take me about a week or two to finish. This one took a long time, as you guys can tell. I was reading this along with other books, so I mean, but still, oh my gosh. So look at it. I do have a lot of tabs in it, but okay, so off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how I feel about this book. I love it and hate it at the same time. There's a lot of parts about this book that I like because I learned a lot from it, right? when he said a brief history of humankind, it's literally like the history of humankind talk in such a general manner. Like really, it's almost overwhelming how much stuff that he was able to put in here, because he started off with basically the beginning, like literally from the beginning, like 14 billion years ago. So yeah, 14 billion years ago. So he talks about basically the main divisions of the book are the three revolutions: cognitive, agricultural, and scientific. The one that really bogged me down was the agricultural revolution section. And that one, not because it wasn't well written, like the whole book is really wonderfully written, because you can actually learn a lot from this book, especially if you're someone who hasn't had a lot of reading or learning when it comes to, you know, like anthropology and history and all that stuff, right? So okay, so I will talk about the main issue I have, which is basically, I think it was almost too much. Like the scope of this book is too much, that it doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, what did I write here? Is this a history book passing off as a scientific one, or vice versa? It's exactly it, because there's so much stuff in it that you're almost like, it is very over. I know I've said that so many times. Okay, so that is fine, talking a lot about the stuff in general, right? So basically, like, he'll talk about like the Neanderthals, so there'll be like a paragraph on it, a paragraph on like French Revolution, a paragraph on like it's just so quick almost that there's really no chance for him in a way to delve into one topic specifically, unless not unless, because there's really, unless he wants this to be like a 5-volume book, I guess. So I do understand that, but what ends up happening is because I feel like he doesn't really know the audience of this book. So I don't know if it was with the translation, because I don't think it was written in English. I think it was translated. Did he do the translation himself? I mean, I should have researched this, but anyways, I think this wasn't written in English. But with the English, I feel like because it did deal a lot with the general stuff and it tried to make it digestible to a lot of people, it almost sounded like he was dumbing down a lot of the topics. So it became condescending. Like, I will show you. Like, he will have charts that are like so, I don't want to say stupid, but they're like so simple. I'm like, why was there a chart for that? Like, it's basically what he just said in a certain paragraph and then just did it in chart form, so you don't really learn anything new. Like, look at this. Like, these are the kind of charts that are in there. Like, here he's talking about like the religion, how there's an overlap with those who believe in supernatural order and those that are just the human norms and values. Anyways, I guess you have to read that section for me. But anyways, this is just so simplified. I feel like why was there a chart for that? And then let me see other examples here. These charts were just driving me crazy because they were so simplified. I'm like, why oh my god, this one, the entrepreneur's dilemma. Because this is he was in the scientific revolution, who was talking about capitalism as well, and the formation of an empire and how it ties to capitalism and another thing, capitalism and something else. I can't remember now. But anyways, look at the kind of chart. An entrepreneur's dilemma, and then comparing it to this. Maybe it's just me. I think by this point I was just kind of annoyed by this charts, so I was like, what the heck? And okay, like I said before, right, he talked about the 3 revolutions: cognitive, agricultural, and scientific. The agricultural really bogged me down, because that's also the part where he talked a lot about religion, and I feel like he has a bias against Christianity, so which is fine, right? But I'm like, it was almost so blatant. Like, at one point he was talking about the hocus pocus of Catholicism, and how, like, you know, like how the believers are just like we're almost deluding ourselves in this myth of God and the existence of a higher being, so that we can all coexist and manage this society. Basically, everything is fictional, and we've convinced ourselves of this fiction so much that we're willing to die for it and kill. And I totally understand the criticism against Christianity. I am a cradle Catholic, so I know the history of our religion and the violence. So I'm not defending that, but I feel like if you're trying to write a book that's historical, I feel like those kind of bias, because when he would talk about like Buddhism and Islam and other religions, it's not it's not as mean, I guess. So yeah, so my main issue with this is the agricultural part, when he talked a lot about that. And oh my god, like there's like if you guys will notice, there's a lot here that there's some tabs that I would put question marks. Actually, you know what, I can probably do a whole video on this. Like, see all these question marks that I would have, because basically they're parts I don't necessarily disagree, but they're like questionable to me, the way he would write it. Like this one, that question mark, the one that that I just marked. Let me read it to you. I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. If God knew in advance that a particular person would use her free will to choose evil, and that as a result she would be punished for these eternal tortures in hell, why did God create her? Those kind of thing. It's like, so this book, I don't even know if it's a philosophical book, is it a religion book, like, because he did try to deal too much, like, you know, is it a theological book? And then what is the other part? Oh, this one, another question mark. But we believe in a particular order, not because it is objectively true, but because believing in it enables us to operate effectively and forge a better society. Imagined orders are not evil conspiracies or useless mirages. Rather, they're the only way large numbers of humans can cooperate effectively. So I know a lot of people will agree with that, but with me, I feel like that's that could be a topic for debate. So, anyways. Otherwise though, it is a really well written book in the sense that, especially like I said, if you're interested in just a general overview of the whole history of humanity, I guess, I think that's what Kristen Stewart was saying in that video. Like, because she didn't go to university or anything like that, and in terms of education, I guess maybe she felt like she was lacking in this aspect of it. So she really likes Mr. Harari's writing. Like the other one that she talked about was Deus, but I'm not gonna be reading that. I don't know. But yeah, so there is a lot of part here that I do like, because it introduced me to even characters that I didn't know about, that I will probably be doing more research on, like this one with Henry Rawlinson. If you guys know who he is, I guess this will be a super useless section for you, but he was the one, he was a British officer who basically he traveled to Persia, and was led by a local guide to a cliff in the Zagros mountains and shown the huge Behustin inscription. Oh yeah, so this is the one where talking about the importance of linguistics. And Rawlinson was the one, he was a officer who ended up translating a part of the, wait, which one is it? Oh, an inscription in one of the mountains that he discovered. And at that time, oh no, okay, I remember, because this is a part where they're talking about how did the Europeans surpass, like, the Ottoman Empire and the Chinese Empire when it comes to colonization, right? And it's because he was saying that the British were one of the first people to admit that they don't know enough. So in terms of research and stuff, when they would travel during that time, there was so much curiosity that they were able to dig up all this old ruins in India and stuff like that, and in other places they colonized, and actually decipher the cuneiform. Okay, so yeah, sorry. Gosh, that took a long time to explain. So Rawlinson for sure. I think I'm gonna be doing more research on him, and that was great. Like the little stuff like that, and you know, like how it came about. So there's a lot of stuff. Like I said, there's like a lot of stuff in this book because it tried to deal with so much. But because of that, I felt like the book also suffered for it. So I still don't know how I'm gonna rate this. Some days I would give it a 1 star, and then some days I'll be like, oh my god, that's like a 5 star because it's amazing how he was able to connect this and that, and you know. And he is a professor in is it Oxford? Oh, that's where he got his PhD, and he now lectures at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Okay, so this is the last. This one, I should have read this part at the end of the book. This is what he says. I encourage all of us, whatever our beliefs, to question the basic narratives of our world, to connect past developments with present concerns, and not to be afraid of controversial issues. I think if I read that part from the beginning, I think I would have been better prepared for what was in this book, because it was really controversial for sure, especially as a Christian, right? So as a Catholic. So, but anyways, yeah, I learned a lot from this book. So like I said, I don't know how to rate it. And anyways, oh, but just as a short review of the actual physical book itself. This is an Indigo 25th anniversary special edition, and this one you can find here in Canada at all the chapters for really cheap. Like this one I got for 15 with a 10% off because I'm a Plum discount member. Oh my god, this book was such a pleasure to read in terms of holding it, and like I like hardbound books that don't have book jackets and are also very light. So I really like this book. So from now on, I think I'm gonna be looking for this edition of books. I think there's quite a few of them that are like classics too. So, and I like the font as well. So anyways, that is it. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I should have known I would go on and on about these books. So these 3 books. Yes, thank you so much, Kristen Stewart, because I did learn a lot from this book, and I found my most favorite book of all time. Highly recommend this too for sure. East of Eden and Bluets. If you can only read one, please, 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 please read East of Eden. Thank you, Kristen Stewart. Whoever you may be, I love you so much as an actress. So thank you. Great taste in books. Anyways, this one though, I don't know. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. Gosh, I am so sorry. But as always, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Mwah!